Yes.
You probably have to have that person as a patient for 5 years, keeping track of it before you notice it.
Before you notice change, that's very true. I mean, before you saw it change,
At least 5 years.
That would be the case. I think that some of the facial, if you saw a person for the first time, though, I think if they had some of the facial features, I think you'd pick it up. I think just that collection of traits, I think you should be able to see as dentists people that may have acromegaly. But as far as movement over time, you're right, you have to have see a person over time. And that's why I think, I've, for the last probably 15 years in my practice, I've taken photos, I've got thousands of pictures of teeth. And I take pictures of everyone's teeth when I do the exam so I can see so I have a baseline the first time I see them, and I can compare apples to apples. If I see something in a patient for the first time, and something may not look perfect, but it may have been that way for many years. And it's not, I'll take a photograph of it and I'll say, look, man, this thing ain't perfect. If we see it in a year, it looks the same, we're going to wait another, leave it as it is. But with acromegaly, the spacing of teeth, photographs are very good. Models, plastic cast teeth are good as well.
Before you could do anything about it, though, that acromegaly would have to be halted in its tracks because it's continually changing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, and that's one of the things that where there are big gaps in the dental literature as far as things like bite planes go. I don't think we really know what the implications would be of making bite planes for a person where their teeth or their jaws are moving, because with the teeth being embedded in the jaw, you're going to put a rigid plastic splint over those teeth, and that's going to want to keep the teeth in one spot. But the jaw, the jaw's going to be at odds with the teeth. So certainly, from the point of view of management of things like TMJ stuff, clenching and grinding, those types of treatments I think will be tremendous after the jaw and after the surgery's been done. Once the growth hormone levels have been kind of stabilized, things have stopped growing. That's
the changes I have in mind now took pretty well over 40 years.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. I mean, at that slow rate of growth, you could wear out you could go through a few white planes even at normal rate of wear if you needed something. As far as identifying spacing, that might be a challenge. For people who don't have some of the facial traits as distinctly as others. In the dental chair, the dentist probably would miss it. Unless in the dental chair, as far as identifying the condition, the dentists should be educated as to the common facial traits, the dental issues that crop up that are associated with acromegaly. But for those who, there could still be people who slip through the cracks and you may not see. Is that your question?
You were saying earlier about a dentist recognizing acromegaly. Back when I was first diagnosed, there was very little known about acromegaly.
Yes.
I had about 10 years before I finally was diagnosed. I had a really good dentist, but my jaw kept protruding. And he'd measure it, shake his head, measure it, shake his head. He said it was the way I was biting on my back teeth, I was pushing my jaw ahead.
Oh, is that?
Pardon?
Is that right? Yeah.
And then after 10 years, I was diagnosed. He said, "Oh, I knew you had that."
Yeah.
That was one of the few times I actually thought about swinging on one. Way from up a little bit. At that time, even family doctors didn't know anything about acromegaly.
Yeah,
that's why it's so nice. I think it's getting more public all the time, Yeah.
I bet you, if there was an X-ray of your jaw, it would look very much like the one that we saw earlier, the one where the large lower jaw with just the back teeth touching. So the dentist probably looked at you and saw that sort of thing. He probably saw, well, those back teeth are touching. That has to be what's causing it. Yeah. But it's not the cause of it. It's really the result of it. Mm-hmm. That whole cause and effect thing is backwards.
I had a new bite plane made about 2 years ago, and I've only been diagnosed with acromegaly for a little over a year. And I go in about 3 months, and they keep grinding down the back of my bike plane.
Yes.
And the last time I went in was just this week, and they ground it down because I have quite a bit of jaw pressure. I have pain right up through the sides of my jaw.
Yes, yeah.
And the last time I was in, he said, the next step, there's no more grinding. I'll have to get a new one out.
Yeah.
They keep having to grind down my bike plane because my bike's changing.
Yeah, that's again with that X-ray that we saw. Now, if you do want it, you need another one. What I probably would do is ask the dentist to go thicker, much thicker. It's for most jaws, 30 millimeters, it has 1 millimeter thickness in the back, corresponds to 3 millimeter thickness in the front. So your next bite plane, if you make it 2 millimeters thicker in the back, it's going to be 6 millimeters thicker in the front. So you might have a mouthful, but it will still work for you. That's what I probably do, a thicker bite plane. Or kind of just be kind of more prepared. You have to get them replaced over time. But that's what's happening as your jaw is changing. Then the way your back teeth are touching, you're getting all that force in the back teeth. And just from an anatomic point of view, the muscles that kind of that are the engine for the jaw are right beside your back teeth. So that's why as you're functioning, all the force of your bite is being directed at those teeth. And those muscles are getting sore, and you may be at risk for those teeth being sore too.
Sorry, this isn't true for me because not the only thing affecting my punching and my movement is the.
Sure, yeah, you've had pre-existing.
But if your dental issues are largely a result of your acromegaly, once your growth hormone is stabilized, should you be kind of at a stable? If Tony gets his biplane replaced, next year, his growth hormone is stabilized. He's had a successful treatment, and so would we expect normal if that was the only?
Well, that's a very good question. And you're asking if as the jaw growth is kind of.
Is the only thing that affects the jaw growth the growth hormone? Is that the only thing that's going to cause?
Yes, I think that. Yeah, I would say yes, but I think that the TMJ issue or the jaw issue would still be there. Yeah. One of the things, and stop me from getting too technical, but with the bite, when we look at a person's bite, what we like to see for a kind of a comfortable, use the word ideal bite, as you chew to the side, you grind to the side, what we like to see is teeth towards the front of particularly the eye teeth, separating your back teeth as you grind to the side. We call that canine rise occlusion, or your eye teeth are protecting your back teeth. And when we have that happen, the back teeth don't tend to wear down. They don't experience much load at all. One of the things we see with acromegaly commonly is that those back teeth, as they become heavy in the bite, all of that goes away. So all of your back teeth are taking the force. So that the eye teeth, you like to see it towards the front of the mouth because the eye teeth are very distant from that big muscle that controls the bite. Kind of like a nutcracker. If you want to crack a nut, you're going to put the nut very close to the hinge. Well, if with canine rise occlusion, with the eye teeth kind of running the show, you wind up putting the nut towards the end of the handle of the nutcrackers. You don't have nearly as much force. With acromegaly, with back teeth touching the way yours are, then all those back teeth are carrying the load, and the muscles encounter, as you close, the muscles kind of encounter, as those teeth encounter each other, your muscles are just firing more and more and more. And that's why you may find a bite plane be helpful, because the bite plane will distribute the load more over all your teeth. Now, in your bite plane, you have a little ramp in the front, because there's a little bit of a, sometimes a bite plane will make a little bit of a slope on the front. So as you chew to the side of the bite plane, the little ramp in the front of the bite plane will cause the back part of the bite plane to separate, kind of the same